What's up YouTube? Welcome to today's video where it's kind of going over a stream highlight from yesterday. So we'll be trying to make 2 videos a day, and the second video will usually be about stream highlights unless there's a lot of PoE news or something like that. But as many of you know, the current meta revolves around MF culling. So you find a mob in the map, whether it's an essence mob or legion mob or whatever, and then you call in someone to cull the mob, and the person who is culling will usually have around 800 or 900% rarity. And then once they kill it, you hope that the conversion works for the currency and the chaos and exalts get converted into divine orbs. So you want to see here, this is me in action, and this is one of the cullings I did not too long ago. Let's see. And I am utterly disappointed, right? I cannot believe my eye. And look at that. 4 Chaos, 7 Alex, and 1 Regal. But today's story is going to be about the most difficult culling service I ever did. It involves over 3 people, many deaths, and in the end, you'll see whether the loot is worth it or not. But basically, the current meta, as I said, you go on TFT, you post that you need a magic find caller, you say what type of mob it is, and the person decides to contact you, and then they usually take around a third of the loot. Now, the reason people do this is if you don't have the magic find caller, most of the times you'll end up what you saw here, which is 4 Chaos, 7 Alex, and 1 Regal. And if you get a magic find caller, more likely than not, you'll get a divine orb. Sometimes you get lucky, you can get up to 4 to 5 divine orbs, and a lot of times it really depends on the mods on the map. So if you have a lot of quant on the map, then you'll have a much higher chance at getting a loot explosion. It also depends on the order of the Arch Nemesis mods, because I think it has something to do with the conversions. So you want to convert, like, I think it converts like uniques to currency or something like that. But basically, you have to win a lot of lottos in order to get the payout. You have to find the mob, first of all. You have to find the right type of mob. And then you have to find the right order. And then you have to have the right number of Arch Nemesis mods, because 3 makes a huge difference from 4. So I was contacted by this lovely person in chat. And he is a Ward Loop player, and usually Ward Loop has trouble with these culling services because they instantly killed a rare. Now, there is an exception to this, is that if you put essences on your map, you can see what the Arch Nemesis mods are before you actually open up the essence. So right here, you can see this mob has Shikari Touch, Droughtbringer, Prismatic, and Ice Prison, and it blocks spells. So overall, you will notice that these mods are actually pretty bad for a poor Ward Loop player. Ward Loop actually relies on their flasks, so having the Droughtbringer mod, which gives you flask getting negative 15 charges every 3 seconds, and then always remove charges on hit. So basically, Droughtbringer is not good for this person. So this person called me in. I didn't even really think about Droughtbringer and how it would interact with Ward Loop. So we had the first fight. Now, I told the person to fight the boss, and I would immediately move into cull when the boss reached around 10%. So you can see here, there is the invulnerability phase, and it has 30 seconds left. And to make matters worse, the essence mob was actually doubled as it was shrieking. So we can see here. So I actually have all of these clips pulled up. So he's right here. He's ready to do the fighting, right? So let's go see what happens. That thing's scary. So I'm just sitting there. I'm pretty scared. And I'm waiting for him to open. Let's see what happens. So it's taking a while. So let me. So yeah, I can call it probably. I mean, you just at this point, just get him away from me. I know there's 0 chance I'm calling this, but I'm like, yeah, why not do it? And pretty much, I got absolutely destroyed. Right? You can't do it. So one mod. So what I told him to do now was that I was zoned in. I have 50 seconds of invulnerability. He would fight the mobs, and I assumed that he would kill them pretty fast because Ward Loop damage is insane. And then I would cull it, and I'll move and immediately cull it. So just fight them, and I'll attack when they are low. So right now we are Ward Loop. So I think these are actually really bad mods. Mods really gonna do that much damage to them? I mean, it's doing the damage, right? But eventually, I think the tanky. Oh man, so the person got slayed, and I'm running out of time, right? So I'm running on borrowed time right now. 30 seconds left, 20 seconds left, 8 seconds left. And instead of wasting another portal, I decided to do the smart thing and run away. And the reason I want to run away is because I want to get someone else in the map that can potentially kill it. So we move on to carry number 1. Now, at this point, we pretty much realize Ward Loop cannot kill these essence mobs. It has prismatic on it. It has too much resist. It blocks spells. So we look for a carry from chat, and we find an explosive arrow character who have been farming Uber Maven and Mirror tablets all day, and that's how he got such a crazy ring. Not really sure if he actually had the ring, but basically, we had an explosive arrow character, and he was ready to kill the boss, or was he? So I decided to use this nice thing called some zoom hack known as widescreen. So you can see here, a lot of people have been complaining that their widescreen monitors are no longer working the same as before. And the reason being is that GGG now puts black bars on the side, so you can't make it super wide and see further than you're allowed to. Now, the reason I did this was so I can see the HP of the mob from far away. So the whole MF Cull meta has me even changing the resolution of my monitor so I can be a better Culler. Now, the explosive arrow character put up a good fight, and he actually got one of the essence mobs to 40%, but he eventually perished. So let's go see what actually happened to the poor guy. So I think, okay, so this is when he died. So right here, I have the person here in my, what's it called, my instance, and I'm telling him where to go, and I'm telling him to fight it, and he's fighting it, right? So at this point, I'm like, when does the boss actually die? And then I've been sitting here, and keep in mind, I've been in this map for probably 10 minutes at this point, and we're still fighting the boss, and I'm trying to check him out to see if he's legit or not, and we're still fighting it, and these mobs are just too tanky, and at this point, I'm like, I can't really see anything. I gotta go widescreen, and we go widescreen here, and yeah, I mean, I decided I would try out a loop around tactic. I am across the way, can't really get targeted by the spell anymore, and now I'm just shooting. I'm waiting for the boss to die, and apparently this is really bad for EA totems or something like that. So I'm asking, what is it at? Because I'm pretty impatient. I've been in here for a while. It's just a very long fight, and eventually, let's see what happens on my reaction. And he gets slain. Oh, and I just can't believe it. Oh my god! And now portals left. Wait. And now I want to go see what HP the boss is at, right? So I just want to go check it out real fast, peek my head in there, because maybe he got it low enough. And look at the HP of the boss. Oh, wait, the boss is about to come over. So this is the poor life of a Culler, and it's at 100% HP nearly. And I'm like, wow, this is not working out. So I'm gonna call in the next person. So now I've spent a lot of time in this map, and I just want to kill the mobs. Now, this next person from a chat, we got a Lightning Conduit Elementalist, and he had Mage Blood on, and he was actually a professional boss carry service person, so he's pretty tanky. He has decent amounts of damage. I know Lightning Conduit damage is not really what it seems like unless you're playing Dory on his prototype, but Lightning Conduit actually has insanely busted single target at high investment because the base spell actually does so much damage already. So this person will be our savior, right? So TLDR, we were able to take them both down, and his build actually killed it at record speed. So if you want to see what it looked like here, so let's see here. Where is the fight? Oh wait, so this was before. So he actually zoned in. So the guy is still dead inside, but he's now about to come in. I mean, the explosive arrow guy. He's Lightning Conduit, and he's coming in. So he said he's gonna kill it pretty fast, and I'm like, I can call it, right? You can't be that fast because the mob is pretty tanky, but I can see the Orb of Storms going on. And will he die? And I see, and the mob's getting pretty low. I can see it's dying. And I called it, and what drops? I actually called it. And I'm so happy I did this. 4 Chaos, a Shrieking Essence of Scorn. Well, let's not talk about that. Let's wait for the next one. So now there's another mob, right? Yeah, the Shrieking mob, and then here. See, it wasn't that. And then he kills it pretty fast. Again, I was able to call it, and oh my goodness. And we got it, right? So what do we actually get from the loot? Well, you would be surprised. I've never been more disappointed in my life. So this is the first mob here. It dropped 4 Chaos, Shrieking Essence of Scorn, Remnant, some Alex Infusing, Shrieking Essence of Greed. And second mob here, 4 Alex, an Exalted Orb, I guess. That's pretty good. Regal, Chaos. So it seems like the mob converted a lot of the stuff because it's Droughtbringer to flasks, unfortunately. And we can't forget about the 20 flasks that I could have picked up, and who knows how much I could have sold it for. So overall, loot was a complete disaster, pretty much because of the order of the mods, I'm pretty sure, and because a lot of it got converted to flasks. But it was a group effort. It took 3 people, or 4 people, to do the service, and was it actually worth it in the end? And the short answer is no. However, the MF Cull meta does allow you to meet new friends from all over raid class in an attempt to find the legendary loot goblin. This loot goblin probably has Headhunter. He's holding on to a stick with Divine Orb. I don't even know if this is a goblin actually, but I just looked up an image of it. And sometimes the outcome is horrific and it feels like a complete waste of time. I have a lot of clips on my channel where I'm pretty much doing a cold service and then I get 2 chaos, 5 alks. Sometimes I get 1 divine and the person's pretty happy. Sometimes I get 4 divines. And the problem with this whole method is you still have to rely on the third-party Discord. And I do know that GGG actually changed Harvest, so you didn't need to use the Discord. But look at this. Everyone's going to the Discord to find a Magic Find Culler. And this is actually something that someone could steal the loot from potentially, unless you put it on Master Loot or something. I don't even know if that's a thing. Now, it will be interesting to see if GGG decides to keep this in the game. They did say that they are aware of the MF Culler meta, and they will monitor the situation, as they call, and think of some clever solutions. Hopefully they don't nerf it, because some chance of a loot explosion is better than no chance at all. And without further changes, I hope that they actually keep this in the game, because if they just remove it, I think the player base will be really, really upset. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this little story of the hardest cull of my life, and hopefully you find a lot more God-touched Pantheon mobs than me. And thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you find more Divines, Exalts, and Mage Bloods than me, and see you next time. Bye!